Do you notice that, right? Soon as he did that dumb shit, talking about, well, we did this and we did that. We had this old.
Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, recently sent a dire warning to Christian, Diddy's kid, about the danger he could be in. According to Deal's remarks, Christian could unintentionally be responsible for the current disclosure of false information about his father. Deal claims that Christian's participation in certain events and his candid conversations could have drawn unwelcome media attention. Given previous legal troubles, Deal's comments imply that Christian's actions, even if unintentional, may have a negative impact on Diddy's circumstances. Deal said that specific accusations against Diddy started to circulate, especially on big news channels, as soon as Christian openly disclosed personal concerns. Deal suggested that the abrupt increase in media attention may not be an accident. Stories about Diddy's legal troubles began to appear in the media, particularly on outlets like CNN. The speed at which these articles were published raises the possibility that Christian's remarks or deeds, either directly or indirectly, were the source of the information that made it to the media. Christian was warned by Deal about the perils of carelessness, especially when government authorities are involved. Deal, who has 27 years of law enforcement experience, stressed that the federal government has enough time and resources to conduct in-depth investigations. The internet release of a video purportedly featuring Diddy's ex-girlfriend Cassie was one noteworthy event that attracted a lot of attention. Following its internet release, this video allegedly sparked legal measures that resulted in Diddy's arrest. Deal mentioned the legal issues as well as the attention that Christian's joyous actions had drawn. Christian was seen on camera rejoicing with his girlfriend, Raven, after his father's latest court appearance. Just 2 days after attending Diddy's sex trafficking court hearing, Christian and Raven were seen having a good time on a night out in this video that went viral online. Given the gravity of the charges against his father, some have questioned Christian's priorities in light of the timing of this public appearance. Deal spoke about a guarded investigation center he had visited, which combines federal and state agencies, such as the NYPD, the Department of Corrections, and state police officers, all of whom are committed to cases with cutting-edge resources. Deal emphasized how personnel at these facilities work on cases nonstop, often using advanced technology and the internet to find important information. He proposed that this joint task force strategy is probably keeping a close eye on Diddy's continuing issues, especially those involving his closest circle, family, and friends. According to Deal, Christian's recent actions could inadvertently put him in the public eye, raising the stakes for both him and his father. According to the former bodyguard, Christian's lifestyle choices and public appearances may already be being scrutinized since federal officials are fully aware of any social media activity and high-profile events connected to Diddy's family. If such activities lead to federal inquiries, he said, they may become more than simply tabloid fodder, drawn more attention to Diddy's private life, and the ensuing media hysteria might unintentionally make the case more serious. The public's strong interest in Diddy and the media's fixation on him highlight the dangers of prominent families. Diddy's family, particularly his son Christian, is heavily burdened by the demands of celebrity and the attention surrounding his legal troubles. Deal expresses
Hi, Hector!
worry that Christian's careless public personas would be seen as a sign of recklessness, which might undermine Diddy's defense and have unforeseen repercussions. The difficulties that popular personalities and their families confront are brought to light by Deal's caution to Christian. Even apparently little activities might result in increased attention and catastrophic repercussions when legal matters include serious claims. Deal's viewpoint emphasizes the need to exercise prudence in both public and private affairs, particularly when there are federal investigations and media attention involved. Deal's caution is that even if such actions are not malicious, they might harm Diddy's reputation and make matters worse. Deal emphasized that, given the serious accusations against Diddy, Christian's conduct may be seen as inconsiderate or ill-timed. Deal believes that Christian's public appearances and social media postings may be seen as a lack of concern for his father's continuing happened just days before Diddy hosted a celebrity-filled New Year's Eve yacht party in late December 2022, when Omar K. was working on a boat charter that had been advertised as a wholesome family excursion but had allegedly devolved into a hedonistic setting. Christian is accused of sexual assault, sexual harassment, and causing emotional distress in Omar K.'s case. This impression, together with Christian's candid conversations about private family issues, may increase suspicion, particularly if federal investigators are watching. Serious allegations, particularly those pertaining to sex trafficking, are at the heart of Diddy's current legal troubles. And these cases need careful scrutiny. The stakes rise with every social media post, public appearance, and disclosed information. Deal hinted that Christian's choice to talk candidly about family issues would have. Oh my goodness, he's the world's most beautiful female. After a major family event, Christian proudly announced to the camera that he had the world's baddest female. Just 2 days before, Christian and 5 of his 6 siblings had gone to their father's court hearing. Bad Boy Records founder Diddy has been dealing with severe charges, and his mother, Janice Combs, was there to support him, even defending him. He publicly opposed what she called a public lynching. According to reports, Sean entered the courtroom through a side door while wearing jail clothes. Despite entering a not guilty plea, he was denied bail for the 3rd time, and the judge set a trial date for May 5th. In addition, Diddy is implicated in the lawsuit for allegedly aiding and abetting and for premises responsibility as the Yacht's charterer. The legal team representing both father and son, led by his son, has rejected the complaint, claiming it is filthy, without basis, and full of falsehoods. More unsettling information is revealed in Omar's lawsuit, where she claims Christian drugged and abused her. She also provided audio clip transcriptions that she says show her ignoring his advances while he touched her. Omar K., a 25-year-old steward at the time, began serving supper and beverages at 6 p.m. She claims to have seen drug use and interactions between celebrities and suspected sex workers up until 6 in the morning on the yacht. She also claims that Christian Communications arrived on the boat heavily intoxicated and gave her an uncomfortable amount of attention. According to the lawsuit, Christian forced her to take shots of tequila, which she suspects she was 25 years old at the time. She thought the trip would be a wholesome family excursion, but claims it turned into a hedonistic environment, even describing widespread drug use among sex workers. Celebrities who joined the cause, she says women would drink one drink and then almost instantly pass out or start falling over, which is, incidentally, something that was also claimed in Jones's lawsuit that would spike the... She claims that Christian said, "Who can I talk to? I'm going to say I requested you right now," Mary, to which she replied, "Well, you can take your hand off my ass for the first thing." Omari claims that she attempted to return to her work, but Christian found her again and asked her to find him a place to sleep for the night, so she ended up taking him to the Yacht's movie theater. Drinks of various people, with a focus on Christian Combs. She believes that the alcohol in the yacht had been laced with drugs. According to Mary, Christian Combs had been residing in a villa on the beach, but he would sometimes join the boat for parties in the evenings. This was the case on December 28, 2022. The lawsuit also cites audio recordings made by producer Rodney L. Jones, who was present at the time, and claims to have hours of footage documenting illegal activities involving Diddy and his staff. This is undoubtedly a very significant development, because Diddy is currently in jail and more shocking information about him and his family keeps coming to light. Christian allegedly arrived extremely drunk and then went on to pressure Omari to take a drug. He then allegedly became aggressive and began inappropriately groping her. Been slammed by 6 additional lawsuits lately, and Gandil feels he has little chance of winning the trial since he believes the prosecution's evidence would be so compelling that Diddy may as well make amends with God at this point. "Excuse me, but you don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to if I want to do this. Then I will." Mari then claims that Mary informed Christian that she couldn't remain with him unless it was authorized by. The lawsuit continues by stating that Omari told the yacht captain what happened the very next day, but he didn't believe her and didn't conduct any kind of real investigation. She claims that after Christian blocked her and Gros took off his clothes and tried to force her to perform oral say on him, she was able to fight him off until someone entered. The captain allegedly retaliated against her for months following the alleged assault before firing her in May of 2023 now. Other than her story and the possible second witness, the guy who supposedly entered the room, what evidence is there that this occurred? She apparently has pictures of the injuries she claims were brought on by the incident with Christian Combs. According to the quotation, Tyrone Blackburn, Mr. Jones's lawyer, has not returned our calls when we have tried to provide this evidence to him. Ollie continues by saying that we will take all necessary legal action against these ridiculous claims, and the lawyers for Universal Music Group, one of the defendants in Rodney Jones' lawsuit against them for allegedly participating in and facilitating the abuse and trafficking he claims occurred, then those who make them. They claimed that the allegations were so blatantly untrue that one of these lawyers, according to Donald Zacharon, Mr. Blackburn's plaintiff's attorney, has abused his privilege to self-promote by carelessly and unjustly charging the defendants of criminal charges. But, to be clear, everything Diddy and his sons are dealing with are accusations. They haven't even been charged with a crime. These are civil lawsuits, and no judge or jury has found them liable as of yet. Having said that, this is a very significant development. And it's interesting that Jen brought up Diddy's own son getting into trouble earlier, because there are a lot of theories circulating among people about how. How do you feel about Diddy's trial, man? It seems that he released songs about musicians he didn't really agree with, like Me Hustle back in 2022. Did opened a deal, but he thinks he has little chance of winning the trial, which begins on May 5th, 2025. If the lawyer was able to get it off, I believe they did a tremendous job, because you have to consider that some of these cases, even ordinary drug crimes, take a year or two to get through all the paperwork they want to do, including the person waiting out to gather witnesses and everything else, because the prosecutors won't bring anything to the court that they believe they can't prove. You understand what I'm saying? They will try to go through everything, and that's a short time. Brother, less than what, maybe less than 7 or 8 months, that's less than the 18 businesses you're talking about, I believe they say. The lawyer is also thinking that they won't be able to give them enough discovery and that kind of time. As you can see, 170 witnesses were given 1,000 bottles of oil to test Baby R. I said, allegedly Baby R, because that's what the prosecutor said about Baby R. He didn't say Baby R, but rather alleged Baby All, which suggests that there might be something going on, or that some of those bottles weren't Baby All. You mentioned victims in your statements and presented them to the courts, so they got a lot of things. So they thought that was a smart move on the part of the defense to get the trial. How do you feel with Dio Derni's going out and accusing the government of leaking the taper? The prosecution has a limited amount of evidence to show, so a swift trial might either assist or hinder them. Cassie, you are aware that the attorneys are carrying out their duties and are attempting to try this case in public view. You comprehend that this is going to allow Diddy to get away with it by claiming that the prosecutors will then release the tape, which the grand jury has every right to do. If the prosecutor wants to present them with any evidence, they will leak it and all that, but that won't determine whether the judge will let them dismiss the case, because they leaked this one. They will try to say that he can't get a fair trial, because the prosecutors are trying to win their case in the public's eyes, but you'll have to decide whether that was important enough to not have this trial. Even if the trial doesn't go to a jury or judge, the man's attorneys are trying to win. They're trying to play all kinds of cards to try to convince us that the man is innocent and that he has been treated fairly, but that's what the lawyer is supposed to do, and it won't work, bro. Going to work just like hold up, but just like Bell denied bail the first time, the second time, and the third time, they don't trust the lawyers, and they damn well don't trust Diddy. Did he ever discuss his role as executive producer of Neppy Hulk in public, on the streets, or at home? You heard that he might be receiving more indictments? I believe that they are attempting to strengthen their case, bro. They will keep strengthening their case once they dig deeper and find, as they continue to investigate and gather more information from the business side of it, they will use those charges, because if he committed any illegal acts related to money laundering, tax evasion, or the use of his company and power for racketeering, they will use that to get the RICO Act on there. Any new evidence will be used to strengthen their case and presented in court. Here's an engaging version of the paragraph with a strong narrative style and some clarifications for a more captivating read. And that's huge. because in these cases, just one credible witness can shift everything. The stakes are intense. Puff's in a position that even insiders doubt he can escape from. The word out there? His chances of getting out seem almost impossible, even for a man with the resources and influence he has. Facing charges, Puff's defense team is gearing up, but the challenge is steep. In jail, fighting a case is like battling an uphill war. Time with your lawyer is scarce, often limited to just a few hours. They're swamped with the mountain of paperwork, and that's if they even get the chance. Puff's team will be juggling all these pieces, while prosecutors already have a key witness for the sex trafficking allegations.
A lot of forward that made a lot of money for Diddy. And he knew back then in the day what he knows now. But Diddy was robbing them, bringing those kids in and saying, yo, like here, write this verse for me, man, for this, like that. You feel like 50 is being so hard on Diddy with the documentaries? And you know what he did to 50? That made him hate him so much for that man? Giving him $5,000, or $10,000 and earning $100,000, maybe $2 million or $1 million from it. Whatever the situation is what people call smart business, but it's really stealing someone else's talent and utilizing it for your personal gain. He has the right to indulge and not give him what he deserves. But 50 is doing this when you might have been educating and assisting these youngsters instead. Perhaps these kids would have been helping you where you are today. You realize that if it's going to be told, he will have it, and it will be told correctly. So yes, Guy 50, he is harsh with Diddy, Guy. It's sort of fascinating to see him be so fervent about his hatred for Diddy, as you can see from the regular posts on his Instagram. Listen to how many enemies you...
It's a high-profile case, and they're already throwing the book at him. And while people are talking, Real 92's recent interview stirred more waves. Diddy, now known for his role as the founder of Love Records, was brought on as an executive producer. But this interview took a turn when asked about demons and dark forces. There was something different. You called Diddy a demon over what exactly they pressed, trying to get to the core. Diddy, often portrayed as this powerful, untouchable figure, seemed to evoke an image of something else, a darker side hidden beneath the fame. Then came a cryptic story he once picked up a dove, a symbol of new beginnings. But that day, the dove fell lifeless to the ground. The ritual was done right before his trial with Sean. There's a deeper story there, a glimpse into a man who's wrestled with fame, power, and shadows most of us don't see. If we're going to talk about Shine today, then let's get into it. He continued, suggesting there's more behind the scenes than people realize. Yet, for all the heavy drama, there's a nod to the past, a memory of Nipsey Hussle, known for his impact on his community and his music. Though they hadn't met, Diddy seemed to recognize a kindred spirit. Nipsey was someone rooted in purpose, faith, and a connection that transcends fame. It's that spiritual thread that ties into the mystery of where Diddy finds himself today.